Citizens, how's your spirit? I was gonna try to go live, but just a lot. Let's just put it that way, a lot. I do have my own Wi-Fi router now, so I'm kind of insulated a little bit from the internet around me, which has kept reduced some of the issues that I was having recently. And the first time around live streaming, which is kind of what I want to talk about real quick and get into something. On my old channel, there's a video where I can be seen like having this adverse physical reaction to something that's happening in the spirit. And then I go on to introduce people to it. One of those ways to explain what it was that I was experiencing in the moment, so to speak. And that was through a television show, or a show that's on, I think it was Prime at the time. And I don't think I'm going to be able to remember the name of it right now. The point being, there was a scene where the characters the entire city ends up experiencing like an orgasm moment, for lack of a better way of putting it. It's the truth, right? I think it's Doom Squad. That might be the name of the show. And because I'm so used to doing it this way, I'm just going to do it this way. I'm going to look it up while I talk to you. So anyway, I say all of that to say it's my belief that I have had some type of run-in in other ways with some of those people in the real world recently. And that is because of a host of things. Dang. There's so much that I haven't had an opportunity to tell y'all. So rather than dive all the way into that, because it's the deep end of the pool. And that's just the pool portion of the swimming exercise. You get all the way into the ocean before we're done with this. So I'm going to back up a bit, and I'm going to say this. The Gospel Rescue Mission was, I used to say jokingly, where Christian mingles meets prison singles, yet it's definitely where predator meets prey. And there's some people who are heavily invested in the Gospel Rescue Mission who watch me to this day. And I really believe that they need to understand what's been happening behind the scenes where they're investing their money. That's why I haven't stopped speaking my truth, even if my truth may rub some people the wrong way. Even if my truth has brought me to a point where people who would otherwise disrespect me have taken the time to listen to me. And also those who feel disrespected by society hold me up, so to speak. By the way, rest in love to Angie Stone. It was her who came to me today, so to speak. I said, if you've ever had a big sister, and you've seen the kids next door, yeah, that's what it was like for me to lose my siblings when they lost their innocence. And that's basically what the show is about. Number 5, whom I have often said I see myself as in a little girl. Number 5 and her friends have the ability to see childish things. Innocence. They still have their innocence. And her big sister has begun to grow into an adult. I don't want to say lose her innocence, but she's matured to the point where the things that keep us young at heart, mind, and spirit, she's rebelling against. Now, if we understand human growth and development, then we know she's supposed to do that and then come back, to self sometime around 25-ish, given a proper growth spectrum that includes having childhood innocence up to about the age of 10. And this is me speaking from knowledge, experience, and pimping expertise, okay? But so, anyway, I say all that to say, I was listening to Brother by Angie Stone today. And I've been listening to some of the black men in YouTube, because I don't want to diminish them in this moment. They are brothers to me, despite everything. And that's because we've been through a similar thing, and here's me connecting it all. A video or two ago, I said something about, I'm going to show you, from my perspective at least, what it's like to go outside in this city. This is Tucson, Arizona. Now, I didn't jump off the porch when I was a child in Memphis. I never did. I'm not that kid. I was a little girl who was chubby and round, and, y'all made sure I got to and from school safely. And I'm thankful for that daily. I've never forgotten it. My cousin's cousins. That's my family. Y'all are my cousins. Y'all are more than siblings. See, something that I recognized a long, long time ago. We have words for certain things. Fratricide, homicide, suicide, regicide, matricide, I suppose. We don't have a word for killing our cousins, though. Yes, the easiest guess would be homicide, but that's what I'm talking about here. There's no word dedicated to it that I'm aware of. And it's simply my belief it's because those are our first friends. They're where we learn our other boundaries about who we can play with, who we can do certain things with. I'm from Tennessee, where the legal age of consent was at one time 14. Okay, what do you call a virgin in Tennessee? Sister. My point being, we've come a long way in this journey. I survived a lot of terrible things to be able to say that, honestly. I didn't have any brothers, only sisters. But I had lots and lots of play cousins and brothers and friends who in the end weren't friends. Friends don't shoot you with the BB gun in the 2nd grade. Okay? So no, I never jumped off the porch. Yet, when I lived in Germany and I had to work security, I had to be willing to mollywop anybody, male or female. Raising 3 young black men in this country, I had to be willing to stand on anything. And that's the most important thing. My sons are not prey. Neither are the sons that came before them, nor the ones to follow them. And I mean that in the universal understanding. My love for black men is the most universal, plutonic, I'll throw my whole heart into it, love. Like God's love. The thing is, I'm watching my brethren, when you include my female siblings, teetering. I don't think we have to give up on anything just yet. When I look at Marquette, you better believe I saw a backpack wearing tennis shoe pimp way back then. Now, I ain't gonna say what we all may be thinking, but why the hell would that man be so bold as to say his 3 enemies were deceased on a live stream? And who was the mystery third person? If we've got Kevin, Sinful the P, and you guessed it, me. Why me? The Saints and Sinners, whatever he's calling his university, they've been doing it universally. Him and a group, a bunch of dudes who want to be just like the homies. If you look at my old channel, the homies were around then. Men and women who had an understanding of what it was to be me, so to speak. To be somewhere that I didn't want to be. The entire time that I was online the first time, I was pretty much captive, held against my will. Y'all didn't know. I did my best to say it, though. And I told the appropriate people. The point being, it wasn't that I was scared or terrified in that way. My life was in danger. It's just emotionality. When you understand emotional currency, you understand how to protect yourself and stay safe. I did my best not to lie because I never wanted to engage the heartstrings of the other human being. Then my life would have really been in jeopardy. I may have more than likely not died in my sleep had I been able to make it to, well, anyway. The point being, I don't see people as their past. That's not what I see. The people that I resonate with more than anything are the ones I know who at some point felt locked in their head like me. It was like having, I had a stroke. And I was locked in my head. And the only way to survive death was to do the damn work. I had to learn how to walk and talk again. I can drive. I can write, although it irritates my eyes. I can read. I always could. Just less of a fan of reading today than I've ever been before. My speech is clearing up more and more. In the midst of my own death, because they did their best to sacrifice me, I protected other people. I saved others from the same thing. This isn't me bragging or boasting. It's awareness that working for God is hard. I'm thankful for it every day. I love every minute of what God has coming my way. As otherwise unaware as that may sound, I'm fully aware of many of the things out there. It's just in the grand scheme of things, I believe in human beings. I believe that we want to walk forward into history with positivity. No longer carrying the weight of hate, desperation. The only way that we can do that, though, is if we, as a collective entity of beings, decide it's necessary to seek peace in all things. Spiritual warfare is war. And the president has gone to war against me and the spirit and man. We got a chance, though. They just diagnosed Donald Trump as common, with a common chronic illness. Perhaps he'll feel that and he'll chill out on this. It might be the thing that reminds him that there's an end for him to. Look at John McCain. Look at many of the others who flip sides just before, or, I'm not saying. I'm just saying. Perhaps now that Donald Trump knows he's a common-ass human being, he'll stop thinking that friends and money and power and politics parlay into peace, prosperity, and the possibility of pioneering or conquering space, which is more what they would do than I would do. The opportunity to explore peacefully what could otherwise be an unknown journey. Well, that sounds absolutely amazing to me. So, I look forward to seeing how things go. I would ask you, though, before you judge me for discussing anything else about spirituality, look into King Louis and the understanding that God spoke to those who were meant to rule. That's what the Catholic Church says. That's what Jesus, Moses, Muhammad. And if I tell you that I speak directly to the Most High God, and Donald Trump doesn't, and no one has said it before me, perhaps it's time to listen. Anyway, y'all keep your spirit up. I'll see you in the streams. One more thing. The name of the television show is Romper Room. When I was a very, very small child, I watched Romper Room every day on TV. This is a moment of clarity for those who believe that they created me, somehow made me into anything you didn't. Romper Room used to come on every day, and I was a child at the daycare. how I ended up becoming a daycare owner, a chef, and eventually a teacher. Point being, she would hold up a mirror every day and she'd say all of these names. She never said Janine. No one ever explained to me, and here's your moment of clarity if you're picking up what I'm putting down. No one ever explained to me that you could call in to the TV show or write a letter so that my name would be said aloud on screen. When I became a content creator, it was the first thing that I remembered. That's why you're citizens. And when you show up in my chat, I remember to say your name on screen. Sometimes when you show up in the spirit at that. That's the beauty of God in this thing. I was also the first content creator to tell you that when you go live or you record, you put that out into the ethers. It's already church. Church. Where two or more you are gathered. If I'm watching your content and you're watching mine, that's two. If you're recording your content and uploading it, a moderator watches it, that's two. I watch it, that's three. That's God in the vicinity. You see? It's all about understanding.